So hello again. Welcome to the October Cyber Meetup event. My name is Lauri Tankler, and I work at the Estonian Information System Authority National Cybersecurity Center. And so we have this event here. We're going to have this monthly. We did have it monthly, except for we had a big break. Summer break and then September break, because there was so many different things going on in September as well. So we're back, and we're back here, and a couple of things just to remind everyone, why are we doing this and what is this for? First of all, this is a meetup event for everyone who is part of the cybersecurity community in Estonia, who feels that they want to be cybersecurity members, community members in Estonia. And there is a reason why I'm speaking in English. I'm speaking in English because we're trying to hold this meeting in English, because there is a lot of cybersecurity community members who actually speak English either better, or they don't maybe speak Estonian at all. So we're trying to be inclusive and trying to get this community to actually include and invite other people who are working at their companies who may be not Estonian. We have a very good reason, for example, today, and explanation why we have this in English, because we have two guest speakers. Of course, we have our own speaker from RIA, from the National Cybersecurity Center, Martietam, who is going to be doing our regular segment on the threat landscape situation in cyberspace. But we have two guest speakers who are going to be talking to us about research, academia, educational programs, projects, those kinds of things from Tartu University and Taltech. So, yay, woo! Anyways, but the reason why we do this in English is also because, these people speak English to us. And so we would like to have them be all inclusive inside the Estonian cybersecurity community, just as the Estonian speaking people are. So, let's kick this off. This is a sort of a free roaming event. If you feel like you need another croissant or some more beer, then just get up and take some. This is not in any way a formal event here. If you we're going to have the program about an hour. And after that we're going to turn the streaming, live streaming off, and then everybody can speak whatever language you want. Of course, it's like this is not that everybody has to keep on speaking to English to each other, except for, of course, if you're speaking to an English-speaking person, that would be nice. Again, threat landscape, research, educational programs and projects. And then in the end, I will have a little bit of a promotional message for you as well. But let's get it started. First of all, Martietam, here you go. There's a couple of things that have happened in the cyberspace in the meantime. There you go.
Thank you, Lauri. Good evening, everybody. Lauri said that we had a break in summer, and we actually, if we talk about the threat landscape or what happened in terms of incidents, it was also relatively quiet in the summer months, so we could actually more focus on awareness raising and educational activities. So we had, for example, a radio program of 10 episodes when one of the most popular Estonian stations to talk to people about cyber and how to be more cyber savvy. And then also there was this cyber wizards camp for girls, because there's not enough women in cyber, so this is a nice way, I think, of going about bringing more gender balance to the cyber domain. And this was not a one-time event, and it's also an international event. And the next one will take place next year, so it's pretty cool, I think. And in April, I mentioned that we had developed such a sort of a test, Cyber Course Plus test for your employees if you're a company. And I said that it was now only for the state institutions and will soon be for everybody, and now it is for everybody. So if you're interested, or if your friends or colleagues from other entities are interested, please get in touch. And also in the summer, we put online in 3 languages actually a sort of again some videos about the most basic things in cyber hygiene, and then a test so that you could test yourself after enjoying those videos. And again, if you, I don't know, have elder relatives or younger siblings, then maybe they should look at it. But now to what happened actually in cyberspace, or in terms of incidents. So maybe this was actually in September, the first one. And I think, as Lauri said again, that in September there was so much going on, and I can say also that in September there was quite a lot going on in terms of what I'm going to speak about. So there was this error in a program that most family physicians use in the country, and I think there was between 600 and 700 patient records that had data of other people or other patients in them, and that's actually quite a big of a problem. Also in terms of potentially getting treatment not suited for you. So this is one to think about, but luckily it was rectified quite quickly after it came to light. This is from our quarterly overview of the third quarter. So this is the issues we deemed most important to touch upon. So the pick of the bunch in third quarter. And well, there's even more Facebook marketplace fraud coming to life. It mostly involves, again, buyers sending links to phishing sites to sellers to insert their pins. So it's really nothing new, but it's sort of more new in marketplace. But also we mentioned defacement. This hasn't been really something we have talked about in recent years, but there were a few cases of it in September, and not only here, but also in neighboring countries. And here is an example of a successful defacement attempt in Lithuania, and it's sort of in connection with the denial of service attacks, which we've seen waves after waves since Russia attacked Ukraine last year in February. And this is actually, this is now our September overview, and the same software error we brought out was in September, the DDoSes and the defacement, also September. So really, the summer was pretty quiet. And this I showed in March. This is from last year, so a lot more details than previously in the previous year. And now if we add the current year to it, then you can see that September is actually September this year is has seen the biggest number of DDoS waves directed at Estonian websites. And the reason for this actually is threefold. First, it's the beginning of school as well, so some angry students also dabbled in this a bit. And then you might remember that at the end of August, some drones reached a city in Russia not far from the Estonian border, and some websites or channels in Russia also accused Estonia of launching those drones. So this also caused some waves of DDoS. And then in the middle of September, we prohibited, or we denied access into Estonia to cars with Russian number plates, and this was the reason behind another wave of DDoS attacks. And this is not only us; it's also the neighboring countries again, like I said. And this is a good example of DDoS that actually had an impact as well. So this was after the car banning, and then the transport sector was most targeted. And actually, for 2 days, you couldn't buy train tickets. So this was, well, even a successful attack, but one of the very, very few we've seen in the last 20 months. But still, it was like 1.5 days or so. So you really couldn't buy train tickets. And then now we go into October, and this is really not cyber, but it sort of is as well. So the gas pipeline is really not cyber, but the cable is cyber, even though it had no impact. But the cable between Estonia and Finland, which was destroyed, definitely has elements of cyber. It's a cyber incident. We even got a report on it. So this is now quite a big thing. It had no impact, but it was out there everywhere together with the gas pipe. And I don't know if you've read the media during the last hour and a half, but in Stockholm at 5 today, Estonian time, there was a press conference of the defense and the civil protection minister, and they disclosed that also a cable between Sweden and Estonia had been damaged around the same time. So I don't have a slide about that, otherwise I would have kind of. But anyway, this is also an interesting phenomenon now that those sort of, let's say, I would more call them hybrid attacks, right? If it's an attack, maybe it was just a storm, because now there are investigations going on. But there's hybrid plus cyber, or cybrid, or hyber. I think this could be a phenomena for the upcoming years if the big picture doesn't change. Another interesting thing we had in October now, October was even more busy than September, is that the Telia call center service had a disruption for about some hours. So their own call service didn't work properly, and then the Estonian National State Information System, or the 1247 number, didn't work, and 112 emergency couldn't call you back. They got your calls, but they couldn't call you back. But this was not like an attack, it was just a malfunction, but still, it was a very noteworthy incident. And again, coming really hot on the heels of the pipeline and the cable, it certainly got people thinking about things, I would imagine. And then another cybrid or hyper wave. This is a bomb threat. It's been going on for days now that schools or I don't know, cultural institutions get those emails that you're going to be blown up. And again, not only here, but also in neighboring countries. Nothing's happened, and the police say it's just spam and spam, trying to make people panic. But again, coming on hot on the heels of the other things, it's quite noteworthy. And I think the more I think about it, then cyber and hybrid really seem to be coming together quite a lot. Because I mean, there's emails already, so it's cyber. And then we actually in RIA have had angry citizens ask us, why don't you just stop those fucking emails, coming through? So it's also in people's minds, this is also a cyber thing. At least it's a very interesting phenomenon. And this was disclosed on Friday. It happened in September, but it was disclosed on last Friday. So not only us again, but several EU member states, high officials, ministers have gotten emails, phishing emails, we would say, pretending to be African Union and wanting to arrange a telco. And so our Prime Minister organized a telco with the African Union, which was not the African Union. And I mean, is it a cyber incident? It's a phishing email, but what was the damage? I mean, probably really not a lot of damage, maybe only, well, it just looks a bit silly. But again, a cyber thing is coming to play in my mind at least. So let's keep our eyes open for the next presentation in this event. But also on a more positive note, today, I mean October, is the pan-EU, the EU-wide cybersecurity month, which has been actually organized by ENISA, the EU cybersecurity agency, for 11 or 12 years, from 2012. So it's a good thing. And this year's theme is Be Smarter Than a Hacker, which is also very nice. And they have nice visuals and educational materials and videos on the European Cybersecurity Month webpage. And in connection with this European Cybersecurity Month this year, we have organized sort of a campaign then targeting the SMEs, because our data shows that they don't take cyber seriously enough. There was an SME campaign in 2020. It was actually run by Lauri. And then last autumn we did a detailed study on what they think and feel about cyber security and whether they finance it enough, and the results were not very satisfactory. So this year we have another campaign targeting them. Let's see whether that has any kind of positive impact. I'm sure, hopeful it does. And this is actually it by me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to have a couple of questions as well. Wait, you have a question? Of course. Absolutely. So, let's go.
Regarding the mass bomb threat, I'm Joosep Johansson. I may work at RIA, colleague of Märt. So I had a question about the bomb threats. Estonian police said on our news that it's spam wave, don't react. Meanwhile, in Lithuania, the police said we are taking this very seriously. Please always call and we will check every school. What's your opinion on that? And also for information, Latvia chose a kind of golden road in the middle that they said we should be careful about it, but let's not call it spam. What's your personal opinion? Which was the best response to that?
Thank you for this provocative question. Every year the Defense Ministry organizes a study among the Estonian residents that how much do you trust different state institutions, and the rescue and police, they always have like 97% trust. So I also trust our police, and I'm sure that they chose the optimal way to handle this. Thank you.
One more question.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm not from RIA, Eugene, just in case. I have a question in broader sense. How much human irrational behavior affects threats landscape?
Excuse me.
Human irrational behavior.
Irrational.
How affects the big picture?
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a big issue. I mean, also, I think if you think about it, I would say that most scams are quite obvious if you look at them. And already when you sort of go along with that, that's already, to me, irrational behavior. So I guess the answer is, yeah, it does really affect that. Plus, there also could be, you know, I'm sure with the bomb threats as well, now this is cyber or is it not cyber, but I'm sure there are already people who are also sending them these threats just for fun, to copy it. And I think that is also irrational behavior and not responsible at all at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One more applause. Thank you. Just to keep on going, there's definitely the research into cybersecurity, the impacts of cybersecurity incidents, and the human aspects of cybersecurity incidents. These are something that researchers are researching all the time, and and also in Estonia, and this is something that which actually brings cybersecurity from the technical also to, I don't know, non-technical sides, and makes this sort of like a society-wide question, problem, and so on. With this, let's go to our next speaker. We're going to have two people, one from Tartu, one from Tallinn, to talk about this. Raimundas Matulevicius, probably name familiar to some of you, maybe not to all of you. So let's give it up for Raimundas. Please tell us, what are you doing in Tartu?
Thank you. So, hello everybody. It's very nice to be here, and very nice to see this club and this community. So, hello. Now I think you hear me. Okay. So the talk was announced that I will speak about the educational programs and research in Tartu. But of course, you know, I can't cover all the Tartu, what is happening in cybersecurity field. So basically, I will speak about some activities which are ongoing at the University of Tartu, and even more. I can't cover everything what's going on at the University of Tartu. So I will focus on one research group. And despite this research group, which is Information Security Research Group, or InfoSec, at university we also have other research groups, like Applied Cryptography, led by Arnis, and soon we will have a new leader for the cryptography group. Helga Lipma is coming back to lead the team. So there are much more things are ongoing in Tartu than I'm about to tell you here. Okay, but let me introduce InfoSec research team. And basically I'll talk to you about the majority of the projects on the ongoing research interests, and also mention a little bit on what we do for teaching. But basically the teaching part I will leave to Adrian, my colleague from Taltech. So, what is InfoSec? InfoSec is, well, it's a very small team actually, which was established like 5 years ago, and it is led by me. And currently, we are always like 5 to 6 people, because some people are joining the team, some people are leaving the team, and at the moment the team has almost 2 postdoctoral researchers, so Mubashar and Amafon, and also the 3 PhD students. And we all do the different interesting things. But before I go to say what kind of the projects we have, I'd like to also mention some of our collaborators. Because, you know, there is this saying, tell me who are your friends, and I will tell you what you are, how you are look like. So basically, we are collaborating quite a lot on the different effort, including teaching and including research, both with the Information System Authority, with Taltech, with the Cybernetica and Guardtime. And one of our also collaborators comes from the Autonomous Driving Lab, which is also at the University of Tartu. And we have a close collaboration with the Bolt company. We have the self-driving car, and of course the idea is to make it real, like the self-driving. But another issue on the security things, on how to secure the car, how to secure this infrastructure, it also remains a very important issue in this collaboration. So, okay, now let's jump quickly to the focus on the InfoSec team. So basically, I'd like to quote one definition on what actually from the tutorial on the engineering safety and security related requirements for software-intensive systems. And this definition basically speaks about the security engineering. Security engineering, which is understood of the lowering the risk of intentional unauthorized harm to valuable assets. So basically, our primary goal within the research in this team is to understand what are these valuable assets and how to identify the different, basically, harms to these valuable assets. Malicious harms, misuses, threats, security risks, basically, which come in the different, which may be, which may look like a different, targets, influences to our valuable assets. So this is like our ongoing motto within the InfoSec team. We try to build and understand the security by design, privacy by design issues. We'd like to understand the requirements which are needed in order to secure different systems. So this is basically our underlying basis for overall research. And okay, what are the main research interests? We basically look into many different aspects, into the many different things, many different domains. And this includes security and privacy of intelligent infrastructure. And I will talk about some of our ongoing research concerns, research projects in there. It includes security maturity analysis in organizations, designing of forensic-ready risk management systems, how to manage with forensic-ready systems, phishing security risks and their impact, analysis of them, also preservation of the secure blockchain systems. So of the preservation of security within the blockchain system, within the blockchain-based applications. And let's look into, very briefly, let's look into each of these aspects. But before I'll go to this, I also would like to mention some of the research projects, which is currently very active, very much ongoing, and actually around on the table you can find some of the booklets, just displaying you the key points of the CHESS project. Now, what CHESS project stands for? CHESS is the Excellence Hub, so the Cybersecurity Excellence Hub in Estonia and South Moravia. So basically, this is the research project which is financed by the European Union Horizon framework, and it is the joint project building of the Excellence Hub between two countries, but also involving not two institutions, but rather a number of different institutions from each of the country. And this includes the educational institutions, universities, it includes the companies, it includes the public organizations. So basically, it's really building the ecosystem in these two countries and aligning this ecosystem, improving this ecosystem. So basically, it's not only a research project, but rather it's also gives the training, awareness, and influential project. And okay, in the bottom you can see the different actors in this project, but of course, besides of the teaching, besides the awareness efforts, we also do different research activities there. And within the CHESS project, we actually have 6 challenge areas where different institutions from these two countries come and join together to work within these challenge areas. What they include? They include Internet of Secure Things, understanding of the need for the secure infrastructure. It includes the security certification, verification of trustworthy software, security, preservation in the blockchain technology, post-quantum cryptography, human-centric aspects of the security. Well, we are not involved in all of these challenge areas. We have some interest within this. So from the point of view of the University of Tartu, we are interested in the CA1, CA2, CA4. We have some small-scale projects where we perform and analyze really targeted research within the different small-scale projects. So let's see, what are some of these small-scale projects? I already mentioned to you that one of our research interests stands within the security of intelligent infrastructures. So basically what it means that we try to understand what are these valuable assets, what are the security risks, what are the vulnerabilities of the systems, and how to mitigate these risks. At the moment, actually, there are a number of different domains which we are considering, and this includes the domain on the car sharing, you know, the car sharing on how to access the existing car, how to enter to it, how to authenticate, how to use the car to go from point A to point B, how to do the payment for the car. Examples of this type of the domain may include the CTB company, Bolt Drive company, things like that. And this is not, of course, in Estonia. It's this, as I said, this is the joint project between the two countries. In Czechia, it also exists similar organizations working on this. Another small-scale project, which comes also from our autonomous driving lab, is the teleoperated driving of the car. So basically, you know, sitting in the lab, driving or in the office, and driving the car or helping the car to drive. Our goal is not on safety here. We specifically focus on the security aspects. What is the architecture? What are the risks within this infrastructure? How to mitigate work against these risks. And the third domain, which is also one of the interests within our team, is the automated systems and technology. Technology which is used within the industrial companies. Within the, let's say, you can treat it like cyber-physical, you can think of it like as cyber-physical systems, like the robotic systems. Okay, what are the architectures? What are the processes? What are the data? What is the information traveling within this type of the systems? And then again, this is what gives a specific nature to understand and to explore the security threats landscape and propose the countermeasures to it. So this is what concerns the security of intelligent infrastructure. The next interesting thing which is ongoing within also CHESS project is to understand what actually are the challenges in the organizations to deal with the security risks, to secure its infrastructure. And what actually we're doing, we do analysis of the existing companies. So we basically construct the questionnaires, approach the companies, approach them with the interviews, and try to explore what are the company challenges. Example of this questionnaire you can find under this link. At the end of the slide, I will repeat all these links, which I'm showing here, so you can take a picture now, or you can take a picture, a summary of all the slides at the end of the presentation, all these links at the end of the presentation. So basically, we ask the company, how secure is your infrastructure? What challenges you experience? So basically, at the moment, we have performed and focused, well, for the nature also of the CHESS project and nature interest from the partners, we focused on the intelligent transportation systems. Different aspects within the transportation systems, including the connected vehicles, ride handling, autonomous vehicles, traffic management, smart parking, vehicle challenges, and at the moment I can show you a little set of the preliminary results on how different challenges different companies see within the infrastructures, within the organizations. Okay, another research interest which we think about is coming by the seeing how information within the different system can become and can be managed as the private one. How to make and manage private information in organizations. And what we did recently, we have proposed a method, we have designed and tested the method on how to use the different privacy-aware tools to understand the privacy needs, to explore whether the business processes used within this organization handle the data in the private mode or not. More specifically, we have designed some of the tools. So DPO tool, it helps to explore whether the business processes meet the regulation of the GDPR, whether it means the General Data Protection Regulation. And we also have a smooth transition from the analysis of the GDPR-related concerns to the privacy-enhancing technology concerns, using the tool developed in collaboration with Cybernetica, Bleak. And this is the link to another tool. And okay, about the method, you can also find in the report on this method published in some journals. Okay, moving on with that. So basically, understanding the risks of the security is one thing, but being ready for the risk or being ready to analyze why this risk has happened is another thing. And therefore, we also are exploring the topic on how to design forensic ready system, how to imply the forensic readiness within the system. And this is yet another approach on how to do this. And we had a case study exploring the insider attacks. Insider attacks within an organization, handling them, capturing them, and understanding what actually and why actually this has happened. So addressing insider attacks via forensic ready risk management. And okay, this approach is, as you can see, it's based on the risk management approaches. Okay, moving further on. Further on, I mentioned that we work in the security certification and maturity of organizations, understanding on how they could be ready to address and see, to assess what is the security level within the organization. One of my colleague and also co-worker of RIA has developed the tool called MAS. So the tool address you can find here. But basically this tool helps to collect organization the data about the security on the different dimensions, including the information security management system, organizational and personnel, concepts, operations, detection, reactions. Also on the system level regarding applications, IT system, industrial systems, infrastructure, networking. And basically the tool asks the respondent for something like around 200 questions, which is relatively a small amount of questions in comparison to some thousands of questions when you need to do. And what it gives in the end? In the end, it gives you some of the characteristics regarding each of the dimension. The bigger, the better. But basically, it means that it shows you how mature your organization potentially is regarding the security. Okay, we also have some initial results. And for example, this graph shows a result from 44 organizations analyzed in Estonia. If we go specifically to some concrete domains, we can see the domain on the healthcare, on the water supply, on the transportation, on the education, and on municipality. And basically, this is the aggregated viewpoint of this maturity. And you can see how it's similar or different with respect to the overall to the overall average of the overall evaluation. So I think this is a very interesting viewpoint and a very interesting look into this. Okay, the next point on the interest of the design is to explore security of the Internet of Things. Security of the Internet of Things, understanding what is the threats and countermeasures, and also on how to teach this concept of Internet of Things to students, let's say, to the future security specialists. This approach is being applied to be analyzed within the hackathon. This approach was developed as a part of the hackathons, and basically the students can participate in this part of the hackathons and incrementally understand what are the assets, risks, and countermeasures in the Internet of Things systems. Next important thing, also in the first presentation today, we have heard that the phishing attacks is still is number one within, within the country. Just recently, we have completed a project which provides the educational resources, education material to teach people, to teach employees, to teach students about the phishing. What is the impact of phishing? What is the means of recognizing the phishing attacks, and how to mitigate these phishing attacks? So I'm just wanted to share with you this link, this resource for the phishing part. Moving on with that, I mentioned about the security of the blockchain-based systems. So this is one of the research stream with the defended PhD thesis recently on the reference model for managing security risks using the blockchain. The important message within this work is that blockchain is actually not a silver bullet. Yes, it can be used to mitigate some of the security risks. However, the blockchain technology by itself is also a vulnerable technology, and within this work we can see the different approaches on finding the blockchain risks and also mitigating them. Continuing on the blockchain stream, I should also mention you the approach, the project which we are currently working on to develop the educational material and curricula for teaching on the blockchain technology. So basically, recently we have finished developing a massive online course explaining what is the blockchain technology, starting basically from zero for people who does not know anything about the blockchain, advancing to the more specific problems. In fact, on how to use the blockchain to develop the valuable product, how to use, what is the relationship of the blockchain and the game theory, economical aspects of the blockchain, and things like that. And actually, well, I encourage everyone basically to look into this program to see whether you know things about the blockchain. There is the educational material, including the videos, including the tests, including the multiple choice questions. So basically you can check it out and see on how it works. Also within this project, I would like to show that, okay, the Chase project is not only like limited project for some, close circle of the companies, but rather it is the open project, and you can become the associated partner within this project, receive the instant information. If you like the project, please sign the statement of support, which is like a very quick thing to do, just filling in and providing your support. To finalize on that, what I'd like to finish this, okay, so within the InfoSec team, we do research, we do teaching, we also call for actions from you, like please check our resources, please help us to collect the information so that we could analyze it, we can generalize it, and we could give the feedback back to, to you. And yeah, if you're interested in learning more, for example, about the blockchain, please become the associate partner within the project. And this is basically finishes my overview.
Thank you so much. I did see a question back there. Do you still have a question? A lot of them. Okay. So if you have a lot of them, then keep them for a private conversation or a very public conversation around that table. We're going to say very, very big thank you, and we're not going to take too many questions right now in order for to give room for Adrian as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you, about the slides and everything, all those kinds of things, if you need slides, ask him, and then if you want to just go see some of these links, again, all our meetup recordings are going to be on YouTube, this part at least where we are on stage. And so just go and check it out, and then you'll find out who to contact, and maybe not copy paste those links, but you can at least follow along where to. But now I'm going to invite Adrian Venables to the stage. He has just recently taken over coordinating the master's program of cybersecurity, which is a joint operation between Taltech and Tartu. But he will also tell you about a little bit about things that are being done in Taltech as well. So take it away.
Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's lovely to be invited here to talk about what we get up to, and it's also lovely to see some familiar faces around. But for those who don't know me and wonder who I am, my background is in the UK Royal Navy. Had 34 years in uniform as a regular and a reservist, and I did lots of things, but ended up specialising in communications, electronic warfare, and intelligence. I'm now senior lecturer at Taltech, and during the summer I took over from RIA Notice as the program manager for our Cyber Masters program. So big shoes to fill, but a huge responsibility, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. Having left the UK military, they said, you're too old, you have to go. And as soon as I left, the Estonian Cyber Defence League said, well, you're not too old for us, so come and join us. So I'm now a very proud member or official supporter of the Estonian Cyber Defence League. And as soon as I told my colleagues or my former colleagues in the UK military that I'd joined the Estonian military as a supporter, they all stopped talking to me. So they all thought that I'd gone native and that I was a mercenary and I wasn't to be trusted. So I proudly fly the Estonian flag. My research area, I still do research even though I spend most of my time teaching now, is I'm really interested in this new phrase of cognitive warfare. One of the great things about the area that I work in is that every now and again we change the name. It used to be called command and control warfare, then influence operations, and then information operations, and now cognitive warfare. And you can tell every time they change the name, it means somebody wants to get promoted. And so they think that if they change the name and do the same thing again, but just call it something different, then everyone will think it's new and it's time for promotion. So cognitive warfare is the big key thing of essentially it's how to get people to do things. So my cognitive warfare of this evening is to get you to listen to me for the next 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to talk about our Cyber Masters program, and it's nice to see some of you here have been on the program. And for those who aren't on the program, this is a very strong influence campaign to get you to join my program and to get a Cyber Masters through Taltech. It originally started way back in 2008, and a year later entered into the partnership with Tartu. Formerly a Centre for Digital Forensics and Cyber Security was established in 2014. It was expanded in 2018, which is when I joined. And next year, my big thing so far, we're bringing in a new streamlined program, which is what I'm going to talk to you about, and which hopefully you will find hugely appealing to come and join us. And those of you on the old program will wish that you had waited until I took over to join my new program. And so some things change and some things don't. Essentially, the things that don't change, we call it a 2-year full-time residential program, but actually the vast majority of our, certainly our Estonian students have a full-time job. So don't be put off by the fact you have a day job. We accommodate people who actually work for a living, and in fact, to be honest, we find in very general terms that people with day jobs actually do better because they're better at time management, and they're better organised, and they're better focused. So don't feel put off by that. Now, previously and up to now, when students have joined, they've either joined doing cybersecurity, cryptography, or digital forensics, one or the other of 3 streams. And although there's much in common, there were sort of differences along the way with some restriction in choices. However, what we're going to do is to essentially streamline the program so everybody joins on one program. And that means that you have much more flexibility. It makes my job easier, less administration, but it means that you can still specialize, deep specialization in forensics or crypto if that's your thing, But if you don't know, and you just fancy you're doing a bit of everything, then you can do that as well now. So who do we have? We have approximately 40 students coming a year. Admissions, 50% Estonian, and 50% are foreign, and that includes EU. And unfortunately, the number of successful graduations has been in slow decline, and so we're hoping to reverse that with this new program. And what we found is that the number of people who join our program and want to do forensics from the word go or do crypto has also been reducing. And so now, by joining on one, it means that it's less stress and less decision making for you, more flexibility, but you can still specialise if you wish to do so. Now, much of it remains the same in that you have 5 modules and you require 120 ECTS points to do it, with a mixture of compulsory and elective courses, so that you do get the foundation knowledge of cybersecurity. And it is a joint program with Tartu that we're very proud of, and students must do at least 24 ECTS in each university. So generally those who are specialising in crypto will concentrate more on the Tartu side, and those doing the cybersecurity or the forensics work with us. But certainly what they call the school bus that runs up and down between Tallinn and Tartu is quite popular, particularly in the spring semester. And we trust the students to work out their ECTS, but we do check them before they graduate. So we start off with a very sort of gentle introduction of general studies, in which we give them a bit of background on information technology if they need it, and if not, then a little bit of how to set up a business, and for our foreign students, Estonian language and culture. And we do find that there are students who come to us to do a cybersecurity masters, but their background may not be in cybersecurity, or really, possibly not even in IT. And so this is the opportunity for us to bring them up to the knowledge that we need. And certainly the language courses are quite popular, because I talk from personal experience. After having trying to learn Estonian, then anything the crypto course will throw at you is easy. So it's all relative. And so our general studies module, before it was before and after 5 electives, and we get to some compulsory ones, and then you can opt for what you would like to do. So that's the general studies, and then we get a little bit more specialised onto the core subjects, in which we specialise in the management technology, human and legal aspects. We're very, very strong on the softer side, the human aspects of cybersecurity, because we've already heard about the phishing and how to get people to do things, the influence side, my area of cognitive warfare. And so we do emphasise the importance of the human factor. So don't feel as though if you are non-technical, but you're interested in cybersecurity and how the other softer aspects work, well, we have a very strong program on that. And we have 3 compulsory, with some electives to choose from as well. So you can option to specialise one way or the other. And we have some very good lecturers in those elements. And then we deep specialise. And before, that's when it was all got a bit complicated and a bit confusing, in that you could do this, but you couldn't do that. You could do something else, but not that. Well, we're going to sort of move on. And so essentially now you'll get 5 compulsory, and you have 29 electives. So I'm sure there's something for everybody there. So don't feel as though, I'm not really that interested in these aspects, because there will be something there of interest to you. But if you wish to specialise, then we have the deep forensics or the crypto team. You can go down to Tartu and do deep maths. We have some free choices, so you can do 6 ECTS on anything you like, and that could be anything in the university. So you can do basket weaving if you want. We prefer it was basket weaving with cybersecurity, but essentially the choice is yours, or some other of the electives. So it's a very, very flexible program. And then the big thing that causes everyone all the problems. If somebody has a snag with our program, it's with the thesis. So my big push is to get people through. We have a number of people who, I see them walking around the streets of Tallinn going, "You haven't finished your thesis yet." And I know who they are because they avoid my gaze, because I stare at them and they always look at the floor when I go, "Oh, your thesis." So we're working hard to help people through and to get them to graduate. 'Cause it's such a shame if they manage to do 3 semesters, work really hard, but just can't put pen to paper or finger on keyboard and write some words for us. So that is my the big push, to get people to think of their independent problem-solving skills and the analytical skills, and essentially the writing aspect. So don't be put off, if you want to do it, but think, "Oh, I can't write," because we will go to great lengths to help you along the way to write what is required. Now, there is no escape from maths. We do bring people along with maths for the crypto. Crypto is quite maths heavy, and so all students do a maths test in the first semester, but they don't pass or fail the maths test. They get recommended to do additional courses. So it's not a test, it's not pass or fail, but just a case of, we would encourage you to perhaps do these courses in order to improve your maths skills. So a bit of influence operations there, but it is required in order to do the crypto, and we have lots of dedicated maths courses, and we have some people who's have brains the size of planets who will help you along with that. Other changes, we've had to unfortunately remove some courses because either the students didn't like them, or the lecturer didn't like us and left, or who didn't want to do it. So some courses are going. One course which is popular is being renamed, but we are bringing in some additional courses, a couple in Tartu and one in particular, the Intelligence Methods for Cyber Professionals. That's a very exciting course, mainly because I'm teaching it and haven't written it yet. So I shall be looking for guest lecturers. So if anyone works in cyber intelligence, I shall be looking out for you. But that's a course, and this is an important aspect of this, in that I tell my team, we need to think about, are we delivering the right product? The course has been going for a while. We need to make sure that it's relevant and that it's up to date. And so we do ask people in industry and former graduates saying, did you learn the right stuff if we're working in industry? So it's a case of, are we delivering the right product, and are we delivering the product right? Is the method of our teaching, the way that we're delivering it, why aren't you graduating? Why are you avoiding my gaze walking around the streets? So we do work very closely with our students, and we have lots of discussions to make sure that the courses are relevant, up to date, and exactly what you experts in the industry need. Some of the miscellaneous stuff, as I said, some of the students don't have an IT degree, and that's absolutely fine. We can bring them along with that. We can update their basic knowledge, but also we get some very, very experienced people, and they're almost just coming in just to update their knowledge a little bit, and they're good to go. And that's great, because we can draw on their experience. So we take the full spectrum of experiences. We do give credits from previous degrees or work experience, and that's my job, ticking it off, and that's amazing. Somebody will say, I want an exemption from half the course because I studied computing 15 years ago for one semester. And we get all sorts of amazing requests of people who think that just because they've had some vague background and can spell computer, they should be exempted from half the course. So that's part of my job. 2 years, yeah, that's the optimum. That's what we aim for. But students, as I've said, can take longer, and they're usually thesis-related delays, and that's not a problem. I'm 10 years from retirement, so I can wait for you. So don't feel obliged to rush. And it's usually not a problem for EU and Estonian students. However, if you wait too long, then I may ask for some money. Well, not me personally, but the university will ask for some money to keep yourself going. So that's a little bit of an incentive to crack on and to finish. What we are doing as part of my new role is that we're really pushing marketing campaign to sort of encourage people to come on our course. So in a way, this is me marketing to you. So please come and join us. We do have bachelor's programs, cybersecurity engineering, informatics, and we'd like to sort of pull more students through from that. Maintain the enrollment from the Estonian students. So at the moment, we're not doing too badly with that. But we are looking to improve the quality of our international applications. From an initial 177 applications that we had for this current admission, we actually took 6.7% of applicants. And that's really not good enough. So I'm looking to focus on attracting a higher quality of international people coming to us, and of course in that respect, it's selling Estonia. It's selling. Why would you come to this part of the world and not do a cybersecurity degree anywhere else? There are lots of cybersecurity degrees around the world, and so I have to persuade them that it's much better to come to Estonia in the winter than it is to go to Greece or Portugal or Spain in the winter. And in that respect, I know it's slightly ironic, but actually every time I see the news about Estonia cyber attacks, phishing in Estonia, cables cut, then I make a note of it and go, that's actually quite good for my business, because we are working on the front line of cyber warfare. We are working here to defeat a number of aggressive adversaries, and so what we're doing is important. And I sort of emphasize that the people who are teaching on the course, and they're not all dusty academics, they are people from industry, they do this for real Monday to Friday. So our students, you students on the internet from around the world, you come to Estonia and you are being taught by people who are doing this on a day-to-day basis. So this is the front line, and I sort of really push that element. So strengths, we have good people. I'm very fortunate in there is a fantastic team of lecturers and researchers. We've got a well-established program. We have a good reputation in Taltech and wider Estonia, or at least we did until I took over. I'm hoping to continue that good reputation. We have the link with Tartu, and also we have the link with the NATO Cooperative Cyber Defence Centre of Excellence, and we run exercises, and we have this good relationship. So industry, military, academia, we're all well linked. And so to summarise this element before I move quickly on to the research side, the new version of the curriculum is streamlined, current range of courses, flexible, less administration, easier for the students, same courses other than a little bit of housekeeping, and we can introduce new courses more easily. And so our program will remain relevant, up-to-date, current, and hopefully attractive to new students into the future. Now, a couple of the slides, already Raimundas has sort of stolen some of my thunder with the researchers we're working together. So just very, very briefly, some of the stuff we're working on, an advances program, which is building an ecosystem for testing and training of cybersecurity specialists. We have a seminar on the 27th of October, so quickly get your phones out, March 27th of October. And we have a point of contact who is one of our researchers, Tia Summa, who you may know used to work in the MOD. So the slides are available if you're interested in this. Looking at behavioural sciences, cybersecurity operators, cyber education. So if cyber education is your thing, this may be something that is of interest to you. The chess program, we've already heard to a large extent. Taltech's element is the human-centric aspects. I've said that we're very strong on the softer elements, as well as the technical, but we do have this focus on the soft side. So human-centric elements, if that's of interest to you, then please get in touch. And again, Tia is our point of contact, and we have some hacking days, something that we had in May. That was the last one, with others due to come. So please contact Sia if you're interested in human aspects of cybersecurity. We also have a maritime cybersecurity research group at the end of the tram line up in Copley, next to the, in the Maritime Academy. And so this is a specialist area. It's part of Taltech, but looks at maritime aspects of cyber attacks and all elements of it, technical and social and the people side. So they look at the full spectrum of threats. They look at S4S, which is a voice over IP internet voice protocol, and they look at those communication channels, maritime cloud, Internet of Things, ships, all the elements which are bespoke to the maritime area. And there are particular risks and vulnerabilities in the maritime element. And so we have a dedicated team looking at that. Is an example that they're looking at of all the elements that ships are basically now just complete network systems of a combination of IT, OT, much of which is unpatched because ships are away at sea all the time, lots of sailors who are untrained but still massively connected and potentially very vulnerable. And so this is a really good area for research, and we have a ship simulator laboratory for carrying out these experiments and these simulations. And so this is a very exciting area of research and very current going on in Copley. So if you're interested in that, then please contact either our new professor, Sanya, who's been around for just less than a year, and sort of my predecessor, Orion, also works in this. Orion has a yacht, so he is well qualified to work in the maritime cybersecurity aspect. And so please look at our website and contact either of those or me if you are interested in this element. These are all our contacts, so please follow us on social media. We have a Twitter account, we have a Facebook account, we have all sorts of accounts. So there is no excuse for you thinking, I would love to do your degree, but I didn't know how to get in contact with you. So just Google Taltech cybersecurity, and you will find multiple ways of getting in contact with us. So thank you very much indeed for your time. I hope I haven't been on too long. And please spread the word that we are here, we are current, we are relevant, we're moving forward, and we have a new program, and me who is trying to drive it forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can have one question from the audience before you have about 17 questions outside of this.
I'll do a runner.
Well.
I'll
Yes.
take one and then I'll run.
Is there anyone who wants to do a question right now? If not, thank you very much again. You have plenty of time to do this. Here's a mug.
Thank you, David.
Absolutely. All right, thank you. We're about to wrap up. Thank you. Go right ahead. Before we go, I have only one promotional. Wait, not that one. Yeah, one promotional thing that I wanted to say. We too are part of this chess program that everybody's been talking about. And besides us and Tartu and Taltech, there's a couple of organizations, for example, our own companies in Estonia. There are some, and one of the companies actually is Cybernetica, who asked me to pass on this promotional event invitation to you as well. It's called a pen test report workshop. How to improve the readability of pen testing. If you are in any way either the client or a this is for the client side who is going to procure or get pen tests, then how to improve those pen tests, the readability, the usability of those. This is something that the chess program is also doing. They're having 2 workshops, one in Tallinn, one in Tartu. Now there's a QR code, of course, which you can scan later on or online. Let's keep this up for about 2 more seconds. And then later on you can totally do this, rewatch this somewhere. So yeah, find out if this is something that is for you. If it's not for you, maybe for your friends. And penetration testing reports. We're trying to, this is also trying to attempt later on to talk to the creators of pen testing reports in how to make them more usable for the clients as well. But this is it for our promotion as well. I do invite you to join us next month again. We're going to try to keep this up, as a monthly thing. It's going to be on Tuesdays now. Tuesdays. You know, in the springtime it was Thursdays. Now it's on Tuesdays. November 14th is a Tuesday. We're going to assemble back here in this space. We don't have an agenda confirmed yet. We are talking to about to the Estonian Internet Foundation, to some Finns, and of course there's a couple of things that we from RIA would like to talk to you about as well, about threats. But you can already mark this down. So this is it. Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody who's viewing, who was viewing from online and who is going to be rewatching this later on. We here are going to be keeping on networking. We're going to stop this program now. Thank you very much. See you next time.